Let's hopefully we'll get some good teammates. Hopefully we could bounce off some people, because I can't make content by myself, apparently. This is me when I make content by myself. And this is me during the content. And this is me at night. And this is just me in the morning. And this is me disturbed. So I think you got a pretty good idea of how I feel in life. Alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome to, I guess an update video. It's been a while. I tried to do one of these before, but I kind of rambled on a little bit, so I wrote down like a list of things that I need to talk about, you know, and at the end of it, last time I was like, okay, I'm trying to think of stuff to talk about, and I came up with a few things, but I was trying to come up with like what could be the last thing to talk about, and I just wrote ramble, so I'll probably ramble a little bit at the end of this video, but I thought I'd just go into a list of things to talk about. So I already did the first one, which was start the video. Explain what happened in December. Okay, so if you don't know, I've been kind of I guess absent. Not non-absent, because non-absence means that... absence? Anyways, I haven't been active recently on this channel. The reasoning for that is that I decided to take a break a few months back, and I love how this just goes into... I just skipped a whole other question. But, oh well, explain what happened December. So I guess I gave myself like various things to talk about in whatever order. I don't know. Anyways, they were like, you don't know, you wrote this damn thing. Anyways, so yeah, I had previous plans on taking a break. It was actually going to be a lot earlier. It was going to be during Christmas that I was going to be taking my break, but shortly afterwards, looking at everything and the recent stuff going on YouTube and just a lot of stuff made it where my break would have to be shortened a little bit. Only a little bit. It's still affected in January and February, but it meant that I had to work extra hard at the end of last year. So I didn't really get to do a whole lot of festive things during that time, which was really sad because that's my favorite holiday. Another question that I wrote down for myself was, why rushing to get Doom out? Well, the reason why I was rushing to get all the Doom videos out was because I felt like I kind of owed it for anyone who was watching Doom to finish it at the end of the year, considering that I was going to be taking a long break. And I was doing the math and I was like, I should be able to do it. And well, I did, just barely at the end of the year. But that's why I was rushing Doom. And the reason why I also I had to rush content and all this stuff and work extra hard was, I think E3 really broke me last year. Just a lot of stuff went wrong during that time that affected my, it really affected the way that I worked and just how I acted and how I was feeling. It really weighed me down a lot, because if you don't know, what happened was during that time, I was doing streams with my friends, because we do this every year. We, watch all of E3 and then upload it because it's fun. And it was one of the press conferences that I did that pretty much made it so I couldn't stream on YouTube, so I had to record it, but I was just too upset over it, and it really affected me. Even though it was actually a really simple process. I just had to take out the certain clips and then re-upload it. It really affected me, and then I was trying to work on a side project of like, you know, doing my own little, like, I reviewed everything by myself, you know, I give people my thoughts, and that led to the Microsoft video, the only video of that type, because as soon as I posted it, I realized that not only did it take too long for such a simple concept, but it was too long to really justify even more content. It took about 4 days, I think, and usually videos they take me about like 2 days to edit, depending on the type of editing that I'm doing for it. So I couldn't justify working on it because I had other stuff to get to. So that's why it ultimately affected everything that I did. And then a lot of stuff coming up during that year, and it was really hectic and everything. So yeah, that's why Doom had to be rushed, and that's why I was finally going to take a break, because I haven't taken a real break, because most of the time whenever I take breaks, it's usually when I've already hit my breaking point, where I'm just like done with everything and I just want to give up. So that's why, you know, I've been taking this 2-month break, and I've still been working during my break. The first week of January, I took a break from everything, except for my mapping project that I'm working on. And then after that, I started slowly implementing like okay, I'll do 30 days of this and then an hour, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. So another thing is that why wasn't I working on co-op videos, or why not work on co-op videos and everything? And the simple answer is that I've left the group of friends that I was a part of, and the reasoning for that is this goes way back, because I was supposed to make a video about this, but I never did, because I never got around to it. Oh, hold on 1 second. So a while back, I wasn't really feeling myself. I guess I was having a lot of issues from past events and everything, so I just decided that I was going to take a break from the group, and they were very respectful about it. Shortly after that, I think about like maybe a month or two after, I started making like cameo appearances, like making very rare appearances, until it started becoming a regular thing where I was coming back. But in the last few months of that year, I had a feeling that I didn't fit in anymore. It started to become where I'm very sure of myself in a way, even though there's a lot of things where I'm still depressed and having a lot of issues with life and everything. I'm starting to slowly try and like myself again and all of that, you know. Let's take a sip of water here. And I felt like that my time with the group was done. Now, what this meant is that I was just leaving the Discord chat that we had. I didn't have any plans with really like making videos with them anymore, because a lot of personal stuff with me and them just weren't going well. Like I couldn't really connect with them anymore. they were going one direction, I was going another. You know, the usual story of how people split up and everything.
I'm going to find out if I'm really alive.
And I just thought, you know, I felt like I really weighed the group down, and I wasn't really providing anything, you know. It's just really hard. I think it's really difficult for me personally to find people that I can relate to. I can only fit into groups and be friends with people apparently for so long before I start to change and start to be like, well, you know, I just start to change, and I don't feel like I fit in anymore. Like, I still like some of the guys. Like, I still get along with Ness and TV pretty well, and for the most bit, it was starting to become where if you told us, like, for one person in the group that I used to be really good friends with, if you told us to make like a joke, we could come up with a pretty good joke within like a few minutes. But if you told us to do anything else, we probably wouldn't agree or do anything related to that. So it pretty much became it became this whole, I just don't fit in anymore, and I wasn't having fun, and there was other stuff that I really wanted to do, so I left. And you know, I have a lot of respect for those guys. I mean, they were my friends, and some of them still are my friends, you know, for about roughly, I would think, a long time now. I think 5 years, I think, maybe 6. I met them back in late 2013, if I remember, or maybe 2014, around there. But they've been my friends for a long time, so I have a lot of respect for them, and I'm glad that, you know, I was able to be there for so long. And so that's why I'm not working on co-op videos, because I feel like making co-op videos without being friends or not really spending as much time with them anymore, it felt kind of very disrespectful to them. So I was like, I don't want to make content or release footage that, you know, has them in it, and then people wonder why don't you make more? I'm like, because there is no more. Even though I have tons of footage in my back catalog that fills up my hard drive, that I don't know, maybe someday I'll hang out with them again and we can get back together, but right now I don't feel comfortable being in a group setting anymore. Like, I really want to establish myself as I want to find myself before I start trying to branch off a little bit. So that's why I've been trying to, you know, I've also been trying to make new friends, but we'll get to that. Actually, no, we can talk about that because it was December, but I've been trying to make new friends that have been kind of more in the realm of things that I'm into, and it's been going okay, though it's kind of hard to really tell which one is like, oh, you know, this person sees me as like a friend, you know, and this person sees me as more of a person that randomly posts on Twitter. You know, it's really hard to distinguish those two things. So I've been trying to do that. Okay, so I think we've talked about everything that happened in December, so now we can talk about January. So let's talk about my mental state. what's been going on? Well, I've been, again, it's been a hard time for me. A lot of stuff's been going on with the world, with my family and everything. A lot of personal stuff that I don't want to get into. And a lot of stuff going on with me that's been, it's taken a lot. And usually what I do whenever stuff becomes too much for me, I don't know how to would say workaholic, I guess, of like I always have to have work. Like, I'm one of those people that I just can't relax. Like, any moment that I'm awake, I'm like, I could be working on this, I could be working on that. Like, there's always something that I have to be working on, because if something's not getting done, I feel like I'm failing in that aspect. But there's a lot of times where I can push that aside and say, like, well, you know, today is this day, you know. Say if it was, you know, for a great example, I took off the anniversary of me and my girlfriend's first time meeting each other and, you know, being boyfriend and girlfriend. And I promised my girlfriend that, and I don't like making promises. And it's not that I can't, it's not that I don't want to keep promises. It's that I'm afraid if I break them, like I'll be hard on myself, and I'm too afraid to break promises. Like, that's something that I'm really afraid of doing. So that's why I don't make any promises to anyone. So when I do make promises, I make sure I do everything in my fucking power to keep it. You know. So yeah, I promised her. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, I had already planned ahead of time that I was like, yeah, I don't care what happens. Like, I'll take days off, you know, that matter to me and her, you know. Whereas other days, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, I can fucking pull a really shitty excuse on myself and say, well, you know, I gotta do this because I can never stop working. So I jump a lot between projects and everything, and I've been working on one recently that I don't really want to talk about until I'm ready. I've been working on a lot of things that I don't want to talk about until I'm ready. So yeah, this month has been really hard, and I'm saying this month as like, you know, I'm still in January. By the time this video comes out, it's gonna be February. But yeah, January was just a really rough month for me, so that's why I'm hopefully this year it doesn't feel like a 2019 2.0 scenario, you know. Let's see, what are other things? Why haven't I been streaming this month? Well, that falls into the whole mental state thing of a lot of personal stuff going on. It's been rough to kind of stream and be in somewhat of a good mood, I guess. And a lot of the things that I want to do, I kind of have like put full time into them, like kick into a lot of gears with them. So, you know, I streamed, I think, maybe twice, maybe once, in January, and it didn't really, I don't think I really got any views or anything, but for me, streaming isn't really about views. Like, streaming almost seems like I just play a game, and if people, you know, people show up, then they show up, you know. I don't give a shit of like, oh, I need consistent numbers on that side. It's YouTube that I really want consistent numbers on, because I've done YouTube more in my life than Twitch. Twitch has been an off and on thing. YouTube has been something that I've been doing since I was, in my early teens, you know, as I was slowly fading into becoming a teenager, YouTube's just been something that I've always consistently been working on. So whenever I don't get views on a YouTube video, I get really depressed and sad. Or if I'm not getting interaction with my fans. That sounds like a bunch of fans, but they're of the girl who's in the nanny show. I don't know why, but my fans, you know, if I don't get a lot of interaction with them, I get really sad, because I want it to be. I don't want it to be like super big, you know. I'm not asking for like 5 million subscribers tomorrow, but you know, it's always been kind of a dream of mine of like having like a small group of people, you know, just like watching my videos and enjoying them. I've always wanted to have that. I have that mental state of like, if someone can watch my video and get a laugh out of it, or just enjoy it, or just my video takes, you know, it's an escape, I guess, for them. From anything that's going on in their life, you know. If I can provide that, then I'm happy, you know. I just wish that I could do that for more people, is all, you know. And I wish that I could say that, you know, I have a lot of subscribers and everything. Not so many. If I did, that would be great, but like, I'm okay with being somewhat of a small channel, you know, because like, I don't want to, I don't know. It's not something that, like, if it happens, cool, but, you know, 1 million subscribers isn't something that it's, like, on the top of my billboard list of, like, the things I want in life, you know. But if it happens, then amazing. But I would like, you know, a small group of fans, you know, of, like, you know, like 1,000 or 5,000, you know, whatever. But I'm okay with being small in that aspect. I just, you know, want to impact people's lives and make them feel better and everything. Whereas Twitch, on the other hand, I could give less of it, you know, a shit about. Not that it's like, oh, I don't care about anybody showing up on Twitch, you know, of like, I don't care about people that show up for those. Like, I do. It's just like, for example, I turn off the viewer count for Twitch, just because, like, if it's 0, like, I don't want to have that in the back of my head of like, while I'm giving commentary, it's like, no one's watching, you know. It's like, I mean, who cares if no one's watching, you know? When it's a stream like that, I don't feel too bad about it. But when it's like a recorded video, it's like, oh, well, no one cared about it. Whereas a stream, it's like, just no one showed up, whatever. You know, I always have a weird, different, I look at a lot of things differently than the other thing. So that's why, you know, for Twitch, it's not such a big deal when, you know, not a lot of people are watching, just because it's like, it's a casual thing for me. I always like to make things casual for people. That way, you know, they don't feel like there's a big, you know, thing going on or whatever. It's just like, you know, if they show up, you know, then they show up. I'm perfectly fine with people just lurking as well. I'm also fine with people just like listening to things in the background, because I do that a lot. Is whenever I have the time to watch a video, or for example, one of my friends who was streaming last night, and I was able to finally catch one of her streams. So I just decided, you know, I'm also working on something as I'm watching the stream, so I was kind of watching it but also listening to it. But, you know, it's just how I am. So whenever people do that, I'm like, I don't mind. Like, it's, you know, I kind of more so encourage it to be like, if you want to just relax and just listen or watch the stream, go ahead. You know, if you don't feel like chatting, that's perfectly fine with me, you know. Whereas YouTube, I wish I had more of an engagement with my fans and my subscribers and everything, you know. So yeah, I do plan on streaming though for February. I'm gonna be trying to stream. Oh boy. Okay, sorry. It's just fucking Audacity has this weird thing where it's like, okay, we're gonna stop for a bit, so it looks like we're not recording anything. But yeah, I'm gonna be trying to stream a lot more for February. I'm trying to think of games to play because I do realize that there's a lot of stream games that like I kind of start but I never finish. I was thinking about streaming tonight. Tonight is currently January 31st. But that's only if my girlfriend, she had plans on visiting a friend tonight, so I was like, okay, cool, then I can stream for a bit, you know, because I feel bad whenever she's here and like I'm working, you know. It's something that I wish that I, you know, didn't do, but it's just something I do, so it's like I feel worse when I'm streaming because she's literally just sitting there watching me stream and stuff, you know. And I know that, you know, she can do other things, you know, she can play a game or, you know, watch a movie or something like that, but it's I don't know. I always feel like I want to try and spend as much time with her as I can, you know. So yeah, that's why I'm not streaming. The other thing is after I was done streaming for this month, I saw that Ness and TV were playing, so I was like, oh cool, you know, I'll hop in, you know, if they need an extra player, I'll download CSGO and I'll play with them. And Ness invited me to the call, and I was talking to everyone. It was so far a good time. And then I read some stuff in the chat. Nothing like terrible or anything, but just some miscommunication of like how I guess TV thought because of my Twitter post of being like, you know, of like I'm leaving the group and everything. He thought that I guess I couldn't, you know, that like they weren't allowed to talk to me anymore or like play games with me anymore. And that wasn't necessarily the case. I just didn't feel comfortable being in a group setting as much anymore, and I wasn't getting along with a lot of my friends who were a part of the group and everything. But if like, you know, if Ness and TV wanted to do something with me and like play a game, like I would totally be fine with that. You know, I like spending time with them, so, but I haven't talked to them or anything recently because I don't know, anytime that because I'm still in the chat, I just don't talk at all. But I see in the chat that they now just post TikToks and shit, and I'm just like, wow. I mean, if that's their thing, you know, they can do that. I don't like I don't like when the only thing is just posting TikToks and shit, but that's why that's why I don't like to be in group settings anymore. But you know, good for them. Good for them. I know that they're having more fun without me. So let's see. When will I be coming back? Well, that's a tough one. That's the real tough one right now. And the reason being is because in the last few days, and this is what has also added to my stress and overall bad mental state, is the last few days of December, I was looking into some upgrading my computer because I noticed that, you know, when we did the Doom videos, it was still horribly lagging and everything, and I was upset because it was like we got the graphics card for my computer just so it could run Doom, and it barely was able to run it, you know. So I was like, okay, well, that means that we need to upgrade it, right? That means that it needs to be better, you know. It needs to run things better and everything. So I looked into it and I got a graphics card and everything. And what I mean by I got a graphics card is I found one. I didn't get it. Like, you know, I didn't install it. And it's like, oh, you know, I was looking up graphics card and I just added it to the list. And then I was doing further research and I was like I was like, okay, we don't need to be worried about what we can run now. We need to be worried about what can we run in the future, you know? That's something that I think I needed to put more in perspective of, like, I need to run stuff in the future, not what's now, you know? So I looked up Cyberpunk 2077 and Doom Eternal, because those are the two games that I am looking forward to, that I really want to play this year. So I looked them up, and the graphics card that I added to the list was fucking nothing. It was not gonna do anything for it. So I was trying to look up better ones, but I was also trying to look up reasonably cheap ones, because, you know, I feel bad when, you know, people have to spend a lot of money on things. But I was trying to look for something that was able to run it at, because the other thing is that I did this thing where it was like benchmark settings, so it was like the highest graphics and everything, and we're thinking about trying to go for the RTX 2060, which was the first generation of the RTXs, and there is other ones, like there's the 2070 and the 2080, and there's the 2080 Ti and the 2080 Super, but those get more and more expensive. So I was like, okay, can I theoretically be able to run Cyberpunk? Because that's the thing, Cyberpunk is going to be massive, right? And Doom Eternal, to be fair, is also going to be massive, but like the way that Cyberpunk is right now, I mean, they're saying that the consoles can't even run Cyberpunk right now, so that's kind of like a whoa. So I was like, okay, I need a graphics card that can run Cyberpunk the best that it can. So I looked it up and see if it was able to run it and everything, and I was looking up on forum posts and everything, and a lot of people were saying, as long as you have something of the RTX series, like if I got like RTX 2080, then I'd be fine, right? Because that's the highest right now. But since that's a lot of money to get something like that, a lot of people are saying that the 2060 should also be good enough. So then I did some benchmarking where it was like, you know, I was thinking of like, okay, so let's see, how well does it run The Witcher? Because like that was the last game by CD Projekt Red. So let's see how well I'll be able to run that. So I did, and it runs at max settings fairly well. And so I was like, okay, so as long as when I play Cyberpunk, I don't have it on fucking ultra settings, and I have something where it's like kind of in the middle. Like I always do that with games. I always go through custom settings. So it's like, as long as I can have it where it's like medium or what is the other quality? Because there's like there's different quality settings, like there's ultra and then there's the other one, but the second best, right? If I can run the game at the second best setting, like the setting before ultra, then that's fine. Because as long as I can get 120 120 FPS or 60 consistently, then I should be fine, you know. As long as I can get 60 consistently, I'll be fine. A few problems with that. Not only do I have to upgrade the graphics card, I also have to upgrade, let's see, I have to get a better CPU, a better graphics card, apparently needs a power supply, and then I need 16 RAM. And I need all of that. So just to make sure it runs, because that was the other thing is I was looking up, and with that stuff it'll for sure be able to run Doom Eternal, but for Cyberpunk it's just barely scraping. So that's why I'm like, oh, fuck. And the thing was, as we were talking about, I was like, I really wish that we could just wait for the RTX 3000 series, because like that should be able to run any of the games that I want to play fine. But it literally comes out after everything. So then it, you know, it would pretty much become like, oh great, I can't run, I still can't run any of the games that I want to play right now, you know. I don't know. If Nvidia makes an announcement within like a few days of like the new RTX 3000 and saying what date it's gonna be at, you know, then we'll see. Because let's see, release date. Some people are saying June or earlier. There are ideas that there's going to be a 3070 and then the 3080. So let's see. And some people are saying around June. But that's a rumor, of course, and you know, fucking rumors. But so in June, if we look that up, so that's a few months before Cyberpunk, but then that's 3 months after Doom Eternal. And so some people are saying releasing in June. So that's the shitty part, is that like I wish that we could wait for the 3080s, but I can't really, because then I'll be missing Doom Eternal. And for Cyberpunk, it's like, okay, Cyberpunk comes out in September, so, but it's just it's a shitty situation right now. So hopefully, and the other thing is that we currently don't have the money to even be able to get all the stuff, so it's just a really stressful time. But hopefully there's some sort of, you know, hopefully there's a miracle that comes out of nowhere, and it's like, here you go, it's like, thank you. And it's, but yeah, so I'm not entirely sure when I'll be coming back. For streaming, I had plans to stream in February, so, but in terms of the channel, I don't know. It highly depends on whether we're able to get that stuff or not. I wish that I could say that, you know, I'm coming back. I mean, I did have plans to come back in March, but that was before, you know, the whole realization of like, oh, my graphics card and the graphics card that I put on the list, I'm going to be able to run shit. So, yeah. Anyways, I guess I could ramble on, but I think I've pretty much covered everything that I've wanted to cover. Oh, my cat's meowing at me. Hold on. So, yeah. There will be something coming out in March, but it's not going to be something video. Well, it's not going to be me, you know, it's not going to be like a playthrough. I guess that's the best way to describe it. It's not going to be a playthrough, but I do have plans for some stuff coming out in March. So, yeah. Anyways, I've been going on for about 40 minutes, and I have to cut this down, and I have to finish this all in one day, and then I got other stuff that I gotta do. So, yeah. Anyways, if you have any other questions, you could leave them down below, I guess, if you want. I'm really surprised if you've made it this far. Not a lot of people watch very long videos. I like to watch long videos personally, so. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching this video, and yeah, see you guys hopefully soon. And if you want, you can check out my Twitch streaming thing. I have it on the fucking banner. I think I also have it in the description. I don't know, I had to check that. But yeah, you can find it on the banner, or if you just check out other places. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, thank you so much for watching or listening, and yeah, have a good day, and hopefully see you guys soon. I have no idea if that's his accent or if he's just making fun of the accent. I don't know if I want to talk now.